Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I'm helping Johnson with the Mercedes GTR. We're going to wrap the front bumper. I'm going to show you how to do this right now. I've got one single inlay on each side, one here and one on the other side. This should be enough. I don't see why we're going to need more, but I'm going to show you them right now. So we did have to kind of draw it off at a certain point. We want to follow the body line as much as we possibly can. I got to tuck in a little bit there. We want to follow the body line as much as we possibly can, but we do have to draw it off at a certain point, and we have to run it up. Same thing on the other side. All right. This is all we need, in my opinion, for this front bumper. All right. I don't see any purpose in doing one down here. The vinyl, we'll have enough vinyl to be able to tuck into there, no problem. Alright, so a bumper that looks very intimidating shouldn't be too intimidating at all. We're doing this in 3M Sheer Luxe satin Sheer Luxe green, that's what it is. And yeah, we're going to do it right now, alright? So let me grab a piece of vinyl. This car isn't magnetic, which is going to be fun. Yeah, pleasure meeting you too, man. Yeah, take care, man. All right, so let's do this. So again, the car isn't magnetic, so this is the fun part, is setting this up right now where we're in a good position. I've also used a compressor on this because we're going to get a ton of contaminants in, especially around the grill area. You can't really actually clean in there properly unless you blow it out, in my opinion, so that's what we did. So what we want to do, if we're doing this alone, is remove the backing. Huge pain. I'm going to hold it against the car. It's also a little cool in here for my liking. It's probably about 72. Kind of wish it was like 80, just because I'm a little worried that the film is going to rip. Oh yeah, and you might be asking why I haven't taken off the headlights and the grills. Well, this is a rental company, so they just want it like this. So that's how we're doing it. This is actually not my job. I'm helping Johnson out on this at Concept Auto Salon. So I'm going to show you guys how I go about wrapping the bumpers, because the rear one is actually super challenging. It's going to be fun. All right, so I just cut off some excess film that I had. Cool, so we're going to need to heat soak this in order to stretch it across, because we do have quite the bend coming across the top. So we want to make sure that we get some good heat on it. I'm going to be super careful with this film because it will rip. So one thing I'm going to show you guys actually about 3M in 2 seconds, once I get this out, is how easily it rips. Just let me get this off. So I see some banding in the film, which is whatever. A lot of brands have it. I've seen it with Avery, and I've seen it with Vivid, I've seen it with everyone actually. So banding is ink lines, all right? I don't know if you can see them in the camera, but they're there. All right, so let me just get this into position right here, all right? Can I do a video on it? You have to open the door right now? Yeah. Okay, open it now, it's fine. But then once it's open, you know you can't open it. Afterwards, because it's going to be too cold, right? Yeah. So here, guys, check this out. So this is how easily 3M rips, all right? It's like tissue paper. I can literally rip it into tiny little shreds. I'm not even trying. So we have to be very careful when it comes to doing this, right? So the fact that it's very fragile when it's cool is something that works against you. Now the adhesive does stick quite well, but it does, again, rip very easily. See, I can just like pull it. See, like I'll just pull it apart, just like that. I'm not even trying here. All right, so be careful, guys, if you're using 3M. You opening the door? Are you opening the door right now?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it sucks. Winter sucks, guys. I'm just gonna do this even with the door open. As long as I add enough heat to it, it won't rip. So I want to get this back about halfway. And just get it going, all right? That's all I want to do is just get it going. We're going to adjust it all afterwards. We're going to fix it all up even more. We just want to get it glassed out a little bit at a time. Don't even worry about this. This will all shrink down. Nice part about 3M, it has great self-healing capability, so it does shrink back to its normal original state a lot easier. Sorry, a little bit nicer than most films, in my opinion. In my opinion, if you stretch Avery and stuff, you can have issues with it. So, sorry, if you stretch it and wrinkle it up too much, you can have issues with it. But with 3M, it's pretty good as far as that goes. So I got all those wrinkles up top there, but yeah. But another thing you want to be careful of, guys, is when we're heating a matte or a satin film is that we don't overstretch it, all right, or overheat it. Not just for durability purposes, but because the film will actually go a little shinier, and we don't want that. We want to maintain a nice consistent finish on the entire panel. So again, let's bring it across. It's freezing in here. All right. So I still got to fix this more, but I can't because it's just too cold right now. So we'll just give this like a minute for them to close the doors. And guess what? We got a Rolls Royce to do. And we have a Ferrari 488 to do. So we got a Rolls Royce to do and a Ferrari 488 to do, which is pretty cool. So stay tuned for those ones because they're pretty awesome cars. Brand new Rolls Royce, like it's right here, it's beautiful. It has like 10 kilometers on it or like 5 miles on it, it's nothing. All right, so as we can see what's happening here is that the film is pulling itself in to the front lip recess. This is why I said I don't think that we need an inlay in this area here. We just put one on each side on small pieces and keep them as small and simple as possible. Makes the wrap look a little bit nicer in the end. If there were better body lines to have it run on, I would have had it run on those body lines, but really there aren't any great body lines to follow when it comes to doing the inlay for this front bumper. So we just got to make it up sometimes. We got to wing it, and that's just how it is. So in the end, it'll look good. I'll show you guys. So we got to make sure we bring this stretch right across. All right, guys. Yeah, and I'm holding it up, putting tension with one hand. Try not to let that top piece fall down too much. All right. Cool, because you don't want the top piece to overlap itself too much. So let's lift this up and shrink it down. Okay, see what happens there, all right? So now I got a nice clean edge. We can't have wrinkles on the edge at all right? So we don't want that, so let's make sure that that's not happening. In the middle, doesn't matter, we're cutting that out, that's the grill. So I can see like some serious banding issues here. Let's check it out. Or maybe it's not, maybe it's just a shadow. Okay, never mind, it's a shadow. I thought it was banding at first. I don't know if you can see that, but that's just the tripod, the shadow from the tripod. So again, work it again across Try not to get in your way here. An infrared heater is always handy for stuff like this, so just keep that in mind. Just kind of heat back where my hand is because I don't want to rip the vinyl right apart. I'm actually more nervous using 3M than I am using chrome, which is weird. Because I just worry that it's going to crack. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we want our wrinkles to run across. They always have to run across, all right? If they don't run across, then we're going to run into issues. So the fact that it runs across right now is fantastic. All right, exactly where we want it. Same thing with the top here. So let's have a peek. We got to glass this out a little bit because I can't see exactly where that is. So I got to fix this up right here. Extremely a little nervous to move it again, but it's the name of the game. Lock that in. Let's get all that glassed out. Got a wrinkle there. Let's get that out. And let's get that out. All right. Cool. Shrink it all down. Let it relax. We're not going to stretch on top of stretch. Remember that. So let's get our hand in there. And let's get a good portion of this down. Always working the low points first, this is the low point right here. Here's our high points. I just use my hand for this bumper because it's very curved. So it makes a big difference. Using your hand sometimes just helps a lot. But you can make mistakes by missing squeegeing areas. So keep that in mind. We've got to be thorough. So I want to bring this up. See, I'm just wafting the heat over top of it. We're not killing it right now, all right? I'm just giving it a bit of stretch. Cool, once I get up to there, I know I'm at the top section of the bumper. Let's fix up all this fun stuff right here. Always doing large sections, guys, when you're stretching like this. You don't want to do small sections. It'll also reduce the amount of glue lines you get in the film. So now that I'm on the top, let's squeegee it. So I'm going to shrink it all back, just kind of hold it there. Cool, you can see it taking shape right now. I'm going to come draw the film across a little bit more this way, and then we're going to work all that over there. Actually, you know what? Because it's going to get glue lines in it, I'm going to work this right now. I want to minimize that. So we can see all the slack that we have right here. We need to draw the film across a little bit more. I don't want to come back too far. Let's have a peek. A little nervous right now. Let's try not to rip this. Being as gentle as I possibly can. All right, there we go. Let's get these wrinkles out. There we go. Now I can heat up quite a bit by the headlight because we're going to be cutting that out. Let's go down here and let's draw this film out. Alright, let's get a better handle on it. And let's kind of fix that up there. Alright, let's lock it in. Alright, let's lock that section in. What I'm going to do now is cut off a whole bunch of this. Because I got way too much. And we're going to shrink this back down. Cool. Get those wrinkles out. And then we're going to go glass it around the right around the corner. It's really not too difficult of a bumper. You're going to see a small line right there from the inlay. Okay, it's not going to be completely invisible. Depending on the film that you're using, inlays will show a lot differently, all right? All right, I'll cut all that out afterwards. Let's do this. Let's cut off some more. Shrink that down into the headlight area here. Perfect. I'm just going to work it up without creating too much tension. So there's the tape. Let's finish this little bit off. It's a fun little car to wrap. All right. What we're going to do now is cut on the tape. See how it ripped there? Careful. Cool. Let's pop it off the tape right now. And then we're going to heat and shrink this, all right? This way, we don't have any tension on the edge of the headlight. I'm going to tuck it in as far as we possibly can go. Cool, all right. You can see glue lines already. Unavoidable. I'm working as fast as I possibly can. It's more so like your speed when it comes to avoiding the glue lines. That's what I've noticed, at least. All right. Let's cut this. Let's get this tucked in to this top section here. And then get it rounded around the corner. It's really hard to do these corners when the headlights are in your way. So, you get them nicely though, doesn't matter. Just kind of gotta sculpt it. And you know what's really handy for this is these tools. So I've got the little yellow tool, little hockey stick looking thing. It's great actually, and it's good for just kind of, I don't know, for me this is what I use it for, little stuff like this. It's great actually. So it gets right in there. Further than the actual squeegee would go. All right, so now you can cut this. On the back side. Tuck that around. Beautiful. Same deal here. So let's do this section here. Kind of just go for it first with the larger squeegee, and then I'll go over with the little hockey stick tool afterwards. Just so we can get in there deep. All right. All right. Beautiful. So, you want to start one end. I just go out usually from one end, and then I'll start working back the other way. I'll let you guys see all this nice stuff up close and personal when I'm done, as I always do. Be gentle. So the little hockey stick tool can cut through the vinyl. It's kind of sharp. What I'm going to do here is, because this is how they want it done, is cut on the headlight side. Keep it nice and smooth. The headlights sit flush with the bumper, which is nice, so that we can tuck it in there and have a nice straight line and pretty much have everything hidden. Alright, so let's go over this. Whatever you do, don't be afraid to do inlays. They're part of the game, alright? So this is the wrap industry, and we have to do inlays, alright? It's how you do them. And there isn't really a right way. There can be better ways, but there isn't always a right way. Perfect. Let's get it around here. The rear bumper is going to be a fun one since I'm going to try and do that in one piece. And I'll explain why when we get there. Perfect. All right, so let's go over to the other side. Hopefully you can see that. I'll angle the camera down a little bit. Cool. All right, let's do the other side, guys. So same deal, we're gonna stretch it across a little bit more. I need a little bit more than this. I'm gonna shoot for this most of the way. Drop a little bit lower. Damn it. Okay. I'll fix that up. Let's fix this up first. Let's fix up the wrinkles on the edge, so we have to. There we go. All right, let's shrink out the top. So as you notice, it's all the same techniques I use with Vivid or Avery or anything else. I'm just a little bit more careful with this. The squeegee, the air release works pretty well. It's 3M, so it does. The film is decent quality. I wouldn't say it's top quality, but it's decent quality. All right, what I want to do is cut around the emblem, because I don't want it to leave glue lines around the emblem, which it will if I don't get it situated. I already left a glue line. I'm going to show you. It's been there for like a second. Okay, let's get that off. Let's get it more tucked in. So you can see that by masking it off, we can just work around things. Makes life a little easier. It's not really not necessary to take off this emblem. I have a video on actually working around this particular emblem on the front bumper. Cool. I'll show you the glue lines after, all right? I just want to get moving on it. I don't want to sit there too long. So we gotta get that situated out right here. a bit of an interesting front bumper to do. If you overstretch this film, it will show a color change, alright? It'll show a color variance. We don't want that. Let's go around here. I think I'm almost to the light. Let's pull. Alright, there we go. Alright, I see the light. That's all I'm looking for right now. Perfect. Let's check out the bottom situation here. So what I want to do is I want to find the edge right around the grill. Outline that. Okay, let's finish off this other side now. Shrink, okay, see that? And then we're going to go for another glass here, so let's pull it out again. We're going to watch the wrinkles as we pull it. Okay, so these guys right here, make sure we tackle those pretty much first. Cut off some film. Cool. Again, we're going to come down. Fix this up. You see how I can push in and pull out? That helps eliminate stretching down too much, all right? And then we get rid of the wrinkles that way also at the same time. So for this corner, this is how we want to do it. We want to stretch down and around the corner. And then we shrink the film around once we get to that point. Perfect. Let's finish off this. Not too much stretch on here, it's pretty flat. Just Just trying to find the headlight gap, which is right there. Okay, we're almost on to the fun part of showing what the inlays look like. All right. So let's do this. Let's get this out of the way. Make sure we're cutting on the tape and not the headlight. That would be a bad thing, obviously. So I make sure that I find the tape always. You can put 2 layers down if you're concerned about cutting into it. Let's see how we're doing. Awesome. So again, we're going to alleviate the tension around the headlight, and we're going to shrink it all down. Definitely don't want any failure at this point of the car. Cool. Crease here. Let's get that out. Use my squeegee in this area because this is more flat. And let's cut this off. Cool. Let's get this tucked in again. Grab the little hockey stick. It's over here. It just works so nicely. I love it. It's the little tools that help get the job done. Especially when you're working around things like this. See how I move my body every time when I cut? Put yourself into a position that makes sense. Don't make it awkward. If you put yourself into an awkward position, that means you have to run the risk of cutting irregularly. All right? So. There's actually a nice thin edge for the front bumper on the headlight, so it actually tucks around this side really nicely. And a phone call. No idea who that is. All right. Perfect, so let's do this. And then we're gonna start working on all that bottom section, all right guys? Which is not gonna be too long. I don't drag this hockey stick thing because it can cut the vinyl. So you have to be a little careful, because you might end up cutting the vinyl prematurely, which you don't want to do. Beautiful. It's the little things that make all the difference, right? So let's finish this off. You might hear me cutting the carpet a little bit. We gotta cut it a little bit just to make sure we're cutting straight. But it's not cutting through it, just grazing it. There's like a carpet liner on the inside of the wheel well. Cool. All right. I'm gonna do this top piece and then we're gonna get into the fun stuff. All right, let's do the bottom, guys. Let's wheel this down. It's the fun stuff right here. I'll go on the other side first. Make it a little easier to see. All right, so I know that I've got from what I remember of this bumper, is that this goes around like this, and then it's going to cut off somewhere around here. Okay. is take our stretch from the larger area and find that edge. Okay, so this is the black plastic trim. There's the sensors. Just heat it back, shrink it back. Whatever. Okay. So all I'm looking for is this edge right down here. We found it. And I'll be able to put a relief cut through. All right, now I have to make sure that, I'm just trying to remember the bumper now. What I can do is I can cut on this side here, get a fresh blade. Just throw that there. Don't throw your blades on the ground like I just did. There's the line for the seam down here. I'm going to come a little bit higher than it. Cool. I can always clean it up later. Now the vinyl just ripped on me, which is so awesome. That's why I love it. So what we need to do now is draw a cut through here, all right? Cool. So I have nothing to wrap in the middle there, right? So you can take a relief cut, because I have an inlay right here, and it runs all the way onto the inside. Take a relief cut, and let's get this piece done right here. Beautiful. Cool, that's still fine. I gotta MacGyver it up a little bit down here. I'm gonna wait to do the bottom because I need to cut out the rest of this right now, so let's do that. Go around the other side here. Making sure where that line is. Double check. Always double check. Cool. Now, let's do the top. Get this whole top section banged out. I think all in all with the inlay, this bumper's maybe like just over an hour. almost done. Cool. Let's get the bottom section done. Start from the middle, work your way out. Keep your line as straight as possible. This way you're not getting excessive amounts of film in any areas that you won't be able to work it out. So you want to keep your line running pretty smooth across here. Don't get ahead of yourself. Alright, where's my blade? Oh, it's over there. So you start to see it come together at this point. Alright. Almost on this side, guys. Let's find the inlay. Let's do this up here. Let's cut all this out. Let's get this pushed in here. Let's cut off all this top section here. All right. Let's finish off the bottom, guys. Let me trim off around the tape here. See, easy. Okay. I really don't love the inlay that's there, but like I said, guys, had to be done, so you'll see it after. This is the best it can be, right? So let's tuck it in still. Yeah, I'll just do it now, in case I forget. All right, so let's get this off of here. Let's get it to shrink around. Beautiful.
SPOILER， 真的、啊，真的，不是那个对啊 ，SPOILER， 老板你知道吗？知道。 how to say this word?
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. Yeah.
For the car, right?
For the car, yeah, for like the wing. You know what? They teach me Chinese, I teach them English. Almost, guys, almost. Probably bored watching right now, aren't you? Bet you thought it was going to be harder than this. Alright, let's do the rest of the bottom here. So many stones in there, that's why you gotta be super careful when you're wrapping a section like this, because if you flex it too much, all these little stones are gonna fall out. So it does help to remove it. If you don't remove it, you're gonna have to be super careful when it comes to wrapping it, that you don't flex it too much. Alright. Alright guys, the bottom section and the grill, and that's it. That's it. Let's grab the heat gun. with some heat, a little post heat. Let's do this side. Oh, all right. Squeeging a ladder is so weird. It's a nice little trim piece here, actually. Works perfect. So I'm just going to go over everything here and make sure it's all tucked away, nice and tidy. Just do this side. Almost there. Let's snap a fresh blade off. It's gonna be a little fun coming around here, so I need to find a gap just to get my hands behind it. Just get most of it out without breaking it. See how easy it cracks, guys? It's really, really fragile stuff, all right? So just be careful when you're using 3M. It definitely doesn't make the install any easier, so I think the rear bumper's not going to take as long as the front one, so I'm in luck. Whew. All right. What are you at? Almost an hour and 15 minutes so far. Let's get this pulled back off of here. What we need to do is start tucking it in very gently. We don't want it to rip. Almost, man. Have the back bumper to do still. Yeah. You're gonna do the back bumper. Sure you can.
I do the back bumper only 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
That's good, man. It's better than me. See how I'm just lifting it off of the chrome trim and tucking it in? That's what you want to do. Try not to use too much heat. Don't really need it. I'll need it around the sides a little bit, but just don't need a huge amount of heat. It just kind of softens the film a little bit and then allows us to tuck it just a wee bit better. So many phone calls today. Just this little bit over here to do. And then we can look at our fancy job. Alright guys, so I lied, I didn't finish the other side yet. Let's move the camera over here. How's that look though? Looks pretty good. The other side's almost done anyways. Let's find my inlay. To there. Cool. That's it, guys. It's all finished. So let's have a look at it. So we can see the inlay. Does kind of suck that it's there. Doesn't seam very nicely either, which kind of sucks also. The adhesive is gray, the backing's gray, so it doesn't hide it very well. But I mean, you don't really see much of it anyways. You can see the top part if you want. Check that out. And check out over there. See? Oh yeah, you want to see the glue lines? So I don't see a glue line. I thought I saw glue lines. Anyways, did a pretty good job of keeping the glue lines away. You have to move quickly when it comes to using it, but when you do, it can turn out nice if you use it properly. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get onto the rear bumper right now, and then this car's finished as far as I know. I just came in today to do the front and rear bumper. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.